Whoa! What a reveal that was! I think we made it. Good morning! Welcome back to the channel and another ultra cycling related video. And today is an exciting day. I just started the first of this year's bike packing trips. I'm sure you feel the same way I do. This winter has felt long, cold, wet. Felt like it was never gonna end. Doesn't feel like very long ago I started riding ultra distance this season. Did start a little early, so a bit early for bike packing trips, but right now the weather is just about good enough. It's time for an adventure. It's currently about 80k into what should be, if all goes well, about a 500k ride. I'm filming this a bit later than I usually would. A lot of the first miles are through Southampton, through the city, pretty boring, and also just crossed paths with a rider on the way through the Test Valley and ended up riding together for about an hour, which is really nice. So if you watch this, Phil, it's good to meet you, mate. Hopefully you get to do that trip with your son to the south of France. Do it. If you're one of those that watch every video, and as always, thank you for coming back. If this is your first one, my name's Andy. I'm an ultra cyclist on the south coast of the UK, and the videos I make are about ultra cycling, training, kit, and adventures. So if you have endurance goals of your own, subscribe and follow along. In case you are relatively new here, I'm documenting my training for the transcontinental race in July. I'll be racing 4,000 kilometers to Istanbul, so stick around. That said, back to the here and now. On the cards for today, a very long ride, and I'm excited. The first bike packing trip of this year, heading west to the valleys, the land of sheep, Welsh cakes, and where we're going today, I won't be the only reason people can't get where they want to go that quickly. Going to the land of the 20 mile an hour speed limit, Wales. More specifically, I want to ride the Gospel Pass. Be honest, I didn't realise this place existed. Hadn't looked for it until yesterday when I made this route. It's the highest paved road in Wales, and it's not that far into Wales really, relatively. This means riding into the next country, which is pretty exciting. I've never ridden into Wales from Portsmouth before, so new territory for me. I've ridden Scotland, the West Country, Bristol, but never across into Wales. I have my bike, plenty of food, bivvy bag, the sun's just come out, and I made a friend. So I'm ready to go. Let's do this. That's right, folks, you heard correctly. This bike packing adventure spans more than 500 kilometers, and I'll be climbing more than 18,000 feet. We leave my hometown of Portsmouth on the south coast of England and make a beeline northwest for Wales. We'll be heading through Salisbury, Cranborne Chase, towards Bristol, through the Cotswolds, and across the Severn River into Wales, the next country. Then on through the Wye Valley National Park and north into the Brecon Beacons, and carrying on toward the Black Mountain and over the Gospel Pass. This mountain pass is around 19 kilometers long and reaches an elevation of around 1,800 feet. From there I'll descend into England and turn south toward home, back through the Wye Valley and back through the Cotswolds again, then up and over the beautiful North Wessex Downs. Then climb over the South Downs National Park and head on toward home. This trip provided many twists and turns. Not everything went perfectly, but I had some amazing experiences. I'm leaving home around 7:30 AM, planning to be home around lunchtime the following day. So sit back, put your feet up, and join me for this epic bike packing adventure. By this point I've been riding for several hours and I'm starting to run out of water. I'm also slightly regretting my choice to wear overshoes. My feet are absolutely baking. And in the sun, it's surprisingly hot for mid-April. Luckily found a shop in the village just in time for a resupply. Grab a can of Coke, more fluids, and blue is the flavour of the day. And I will say this, it tasted blue. Anyway, onwards and upwards, off to the Cotswolds we go. How cool is this? It's a bit dark, just about to see where I'm going. Oh. Maybe didn't see him. Thank God for that free hubs. Excitement I didn't need. That route is called the 2-tunnel circuit. The first one, that guy just told me, apparently the longest pedestrian tunnel in Europe, and it felt bloody long. All the way through to the other end, about a 100-yard gap. Second tunnel, locked. And for a minute there, it looked like my only option was to go back through the first tunnel, uphill. Oh well, could have been a lot worse. Managed to find a gravel pathway that cut around and under the bridge. Then just had to find a bit of a diversion and route through Bath. Bath's really nice though. So, not the end of the world. And now about 140k in. So making pretty good headway. Ironically, I was hoping to try to cut all this out. Between Bath and Bristol, a cycle route that used to be a railway, which I'm on right now. It does move pretty quickly, but it's really busy. So usually, I try to divert around this sort of thing. I planned on taking it a bit easy anyway, so left it in. And they closed the tunnel. Oh well. It's a good lesson though. Things don't always work out how you plan. Sometimes you just gotta take the gravel bypass. And it's fine. I haven't really felt that great for the last hour or two. Don't know why. For some reason just came all over all queasy. Didn't really fancy talking to the camera. But it's passing now. It's probably something I ate. It'll pass. But so far, it's been beautiful. I know the route really well. It doesn't disappoint. The railway platforms are still here. So yeah, so far, pretty good. The headwind is strong, but tomorrow, it'll be behind me. This is pretty much an out and back, kind of a big sausage shape out and back. So I'll push through this today and reap the reward tomorrow. Unless it changes, which it often does. One thing I'm noticing, the flies have bloomed. There are millions of flies. And the headwind isn't helping. I think we're all used to in the summer, not breathing with our mouths open on climbs and sucking it up, because invariably, that didn't sound good. Invariably, a fly goes down your throat. Today, there's just tons, constantly hammering me in the face. This section, from Bath to Bristol goes surprisingly quickly, so it won't be long before I'm working my way around the edge of Bristol and crossing the River Severn. That's creeping up really quickly. As far as riding this direction from my house, Bristol's the furthest I've been. So Wales, here we come. I think this was the right choice. All I can see, every direction, hills. On this train line, flat. So just rolled through Warmley Station. Shouldn't be too surprised, that's where my PBP 400k started from. And funnily enough, it was rail themed. I think as roadies, we can all pretty much agree that the prospect of bike paths, especially when they're miles long, it's not great. But actually, every so often, there's a good one. And that's a good one. If you're ever riding this way, Bath to Bristol, vice versa, that path is good. Don't really know where I am, roughly. I'm kind of expecting at any minute I'll go across the bridge, but find out soon. On top of that, the wind's picking up. I see mountains quite far away. Might be quite hard to see on this wide angle lens. We're nearly there. Made it! The Severn Bridge. The old Severn Bridge. That's the new Severn Bridge, you can't ride across that. But this wind is right in my nostril, my left nostril. Not very nice. And the headwind I've had all the way here turned up to 11. So, let's roll down into Wales. Croeso! That is Welsh for welcome. What a welcome it was. As soon as I rolled down the bridge, I am not lying, rain started hitting my glasses. Literally, fine on the way up, fine in the middle, rain as I rolled down. So, that's not a good sign. Currently have 70k to get to Hay on Wye. That's the most northerly point. Pretty much where I turn south. Of that 70k, 20k is the climb. Climb's 20k long. It's not very steep, but still 20k. Not worried. It's the only time constraint I set for this ride. I wanted to make it more like a touring ride, enjoy it, but I don't want to be up that mountain when it gets dark. The weather can turn at any minute. So really, I want to be down, off into England, into the sunset, way before it gets dark. Unwelcome indeed. So far it's been hills on top of hills on top of hills. I don't know what else I was expecting, to be honest. Whoa! Whoa! Watching this back, the camera really cannot do that reveal justice. After flying down that amazing descent and seeing the mountains in the distance, that image has been burnt into my mind ever since I've been back. This is why I love riding ultra distance so much. All those hours of pushing into the headwind, so worthwhile. Let's go climb that mountain pass. What a reveal that was! Amazing. Might not be in the mountains just yet, but about 200k in now, and nearly there. A bit blowy, but look at this place. Oh, it's worth the effort. Take it all back. The climbs are completely worth it. That was a lot of fun. Okay, I'll take back the rain comments too. It's turning out to be pretty spectacular. Hopefully, I should be getting to the top of the climb around sunset. So maybe I'll get a nice sunset. Let's see. I don't want to be there in the dark, so I've got my earbuds in. Now I've gone the wrong way. Amateur. So I've got my earbuds in, onto the error bars, and crack on. Okay, so we have valleys, lots of sheep, no Welsh cakes. I'm pushing on quite a bit to try to get here and get over the mountains before it gets dark. I managed to run out of water, it was great. I was worried about having to do this climb with no water. So I managed to find a little pub, got a can of Coke and some peanuts, nice and salty. Filled up my bottle, checked on the Wi-Fi, double checked. I'm halfway up the climb. I knew I'd been climbing for a while, but heading into the mountains, so it's gonna be a bit of a, gonna be climbing whichever way you go. But yeah, not far from the very top now. It should be alright. Can't see the weather changing in the next hour or so, so I think I'm safe. Even so, rather not be going over in the dark either. So let's keep on pushing over, drop back down into hay, and back into England. It's getting tough. Nearly there. I lose my voice. Into the red section of what Garmin classed as the climb. Actually started quite a long time ago. I don't think I've got far. 1500 meters to the top, and just this red section to deal with. I might get a hot meal in hay. I am knackered. There's one thing you can rely on. You're going through tough times. At least I'm here. Look at it. I'm almost at the highest point of the highest paved road in Wales. If I get there. I feel like this climb is better done with a tailwind. Oh. I think we made it. And we made it. That's about 240 kilometers of headwind from Portsmouth, sea level, across England, into Wales, across Wales, into the mountains, and up to the highest paved road in Wales. Was it worth it? Yeah, it was worth it. Of course it was worth it. What an adventure. I don't know if you can even hear this over this wind. But now, all there is left to do, a 10-kilometer descent, all the way down to Hay. Let's get off this thing. It is freezing. One last thing. I'm just getting my stuff ready to leave. Sunset was the deadline to get up here, and it was a struggle. And look at that. Beautiful. I am knackered. Long, cold descent. I thought bringing the overshoes was a bit overkill. carrying them. I think got really hot earlier. They came in really handy. And into the night. So I've just been faffing around in hay for a bit too long, trying to find food. And it turns out everywhere closes at 8. I got in just after 8, so faffed around, tried to find somewhere, ended up with a meal deal, sandwich, crisps and a drink. But I did find Welsh cakes, and I'm pretty sure I'm about to go over the border into England, so just in time. And in a way, it's probably a good thing I didn't eat a ton of food. My Garmin has just shown me this. Yay. Can you guess where I am? I'm in a pub garden. I was just riding past a pub, saw a sign for a footpath, started getting a bit of a attack of the sleepies. I'm not as far as I wanted to get, but I'll just get up a bit earlier tomorrow. So I started looking for somewhere to sleep. I'm really a fan of, I don't know where I heard it, but saying the road provides, and you ride long enough, the road will provide something. So I was looking at a sign for a public footpath, probably muddy, covered in crap, and a bloke called me over. A guy called Simeon. Absolute legend. I'm going to get in touch with him afterwards to say thanks again when I'm a bit more awake. But basically said, I can sleep in this covered area. And not only that, he'll leave the loo open for me all night. And I have been having stomach issues, so trying to push on with pretty bad guts. I won't go into detail, but it's becoming a bit of an issue. That said, I've only got about 220k to do tomorrow. Done about 300 so far. So if I have a decent sleep, I haven't got to stress about getting up really early. Probably will anyway. And if I have problems, he's leaving the loo open for me. Really amazing on these trips, when you put yourself out there, the sort of things that happen. Meeting Phil earlier today, Simeon calling me in, offering me food and drink. Just because you're out on a bit of an adventure. People are generally pretty good. A lot of the time, people can be not so good. But when people see you out, vulnerable, even though you choose to be there, they got your back quite often. So, thanks a lot to Simeon. I'm going to set my bed up. Hopefully these lights turn off at some point. Beggars can't be choosy. Get some sleep. Good night. Well folks, if you watched until this point, thank you. I really appreciate it. You're either one of the people I chat with in the comments every week, or you just enjoy this kind of riding and these kind of videos. Either way, if you enjoyed this, consider subscribing. I plan to make a video every week when I can, although the riding does come first. But all of my training rides, I should be filming and putting out as a vlog. And part 2 of this ride is still to come. I've still got 220k to ride to get home yet, a stomach bug to contend with, and I wish I could say that was the only problem I had to navigate. Getting home was just as much of an adventure as getting here was. Well, I hope you all look after yourselves, and as always, I'll see you on the next one.